Let me just state emphatically, the process has been extremely transparent, because one of the earlier speakers said the process has not been transparent. In fact, this has traveled 3 years in Parliament. We've had the longest public engagement. The gay lobby, the churches, the Muslim groups, traditional authorities have all had opportunity to make representation. In fact, this bill is what received the highest number of public memoranda, over 180. Nothing like this has ever happened in the history of Parliament. Now, we've had various iterations of the bill, and that's a standard. With every bill that comes to Parliament, as it goes through consideration stage, iterations happen. Now, on the day we passed the bill, that was Wednesday, I believe, the 28th, on the 28th of February, what happened was we had heard some commentary in the media, especially led by the gay lobby, saying that this was going to introduce criminal libel and gag the media. Through the back door. Clearly uninformed and not factual. However, because we were enforced in our belief that the provisions in the bill did not impose a cap or a gagging of the Chapter 12 rights of the media in the 1992 Constitution, I moved the motion on the floor to have another consideration of the bill, and introduced a phrase in Clause 10 and Clause 11 of the last but one iteration of the bill. Now, Clause 10 says, prohibition of propaganda of, promotion of, and advocacy for activities prohibited under this act. And this is what has the gay lobby the most pained. And then 11 says, prohibition of propaganda of, promotion of, and advocacy for activities directed at a child. Now, what we then did was to say that if you read 10.1, it says a person who, through a medium technological platform, and goes on and on and on and on. But what we then did was to introduce subject to the Constitution, subject to the provisions of the Constitution. That was the phrase. But if you complete that, Sam George, it talks about broadcasts, disseminates, publishes, or distributes, or uses an electronic device, the internet service, a film, or any other device capable of electronic storage or transmission to produce, procure, market, broadcast, disseminate, publish, or distribute a material for purposes of promoting an activity prohibited under this act. Yes, so once Parliament passes a law and says something is illegal, why don't you advocate and disseminate material on anti-money laundering? Because Parliament has passed a law that says that money laundering is criminal. So there's a difference between an editorial and advocacy. Your editorial, something always has something at stake. He does an editorial. You can have an editorial on money laundering. In fact, a conversation on this platform on money laundering, which was an editorial piece by Samson, is what led me to pass comments that said that the real estate industry in Ghana is a tool for money laundering. You remember that incident between myself and Greta? Yeah. So it's different to do an editorial on the dangers of LGBTQ, or violence even against that community, extrajudicial violence against that community. You can very well do an editorial on that, but that your editorial policy and discretion, your Chapter 12 rights in the Constitution do not give you the power to then begin to advocate for it. And that's what the gay lobby is doing. The gay lobby is engaged in advocating for the acceptance of something that Parliament is passing a legislation to say is unconstitutional. So basically, we just introduce subject to the provisions of the Constitution so that it gives assurances double sure to the media that your rights to inform, and again, let's be clear, your Chapter 12 rights give you the power or the rights to inform, educate, and entertain, not to carry out advocacy for illegal activity. And so let's be clear on that.